How are you now? You're listening to the Theory of Thing investment podcast brought to you. Anyway, I'll get to this first. My name is James Whelan, Managing Director of the Barclay Pierce Capital's Wealth Management Team. I'm joined by Heath Moss of HLM Investments. Heath, how are you now?
Very well, thank you. Morning, everyone, or afternoon or evening, wherever you are at this point in time. Great to be on.
That is, I think it might be a great time to have a wakey. That'll get you there. Caffeinated and fizzy. Thank you very much for all the help and work that they've done for the show. Now, we have got a very special guest for us today. I'm going to get straight. The date is the 24th of May, 2024 AD. And we've got a very special guest coming with us tonight. So as everyone knows, that I recently went to Las Vegas to watch the NRL at Allegiant Stadium, a beautiful stadium, an absolutely sensational atmosphere, all work-related, of course, as everyone knows. But I was introduced to a fellow, so 24/7 or 247, which is our events coordinators that do things with us, introduced us to a very good, one of the good guys, and one of the people who showed us around amazingly, was an amazing host of Allegiant Stadium, works for, I was originally, someone said, oh, yeah, this is Derek, he works for the Raiders. And I thought she was talking about the Canberra Raiders. And I was just like, oh, that's good. You're out here doing that. I didn't actually put it together. This is where my mind was when I was there. I didn't actually put it together that it was the Las Vegas Raiders, who are the NFL team that are over there. Everyone who follows the show knows how big NFL fans we are. Can't wait for the season to start. I was introduced to this fellow, Derek Haithcock. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He is the the manager of team travel and logistics, and he's joining us today. Derek, how are you now?
Great, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, and again, thank you so much for showing us around and just being a great host in the box that day at Allegiant to watch two games back to back of NRL football that I think it was received quite positively over there. What was I'll kick you off. What was your take on the Australian version of the game?
Well, it was fun. It was fun to watch. As soon as I learned 6 tackles and how that kind of whole operated, everything started to make sense. So, but it was good. It was great to see, and it was a fun atmosphere.
Yeah, no, it really was. So, so the manager, run us through. Everyone who comes on the show gets the same question. No different for yourself, Derek. What do you do and how do you make money? Probably don't worry about how do you make money, but just run us through what it's like there with the Raiders in Vegas. What your day consists of.
Yeah. So really what I do is oversee all of our travel and logistics, moving our team around city to city for our away games. So it involves, going out, looking at hotels, looking at opportunities, vendors, meeting with folks who are going to, be great for us this upcoming season. So once you do that, and then you start dialing in the hotels, the bus companies, the truck companies, the airline companies, you name it, the whole show, it's a big production, but it's a lot of fun, and we get to work with a lot of great people who set us up for success and really, create a great travel experience for our team.
Yeah, and it's not a bad spot. Not a bad spot to play at home, I suppose, in Vegas, based on my experience there. But you've had a look at the schedule now. Schedule's dropped last week or the week before.
Yes, finally.
I think you start with a cheeky trip to the Rams. I think to kick it off. What any sticky points on the schedule that you can see?
Yeah, no. We actually do the Chargers first, and then we'll hit the Rams a couple weeks after that. So, but hit LA twice. No, our schedule's really favorable this year. We got a lot of great opportunities, seamless kind of travel. We're going to get locked in here. So a lot of good things on the horizon.
Yeah. So what's taking place over there at this time of year? Just run us through sort of what the energy's like. Draft happened a few weeks ago.
Yep.
New guys settling in. Run us through it. It's just very exciting.
Yeah. No, I'll stick more to the travel right now. We'll so now that the schedule finally came out, and dates are the biggest thing, right? This thing's coming quick. You got preseason starting August 10th. And so, that's really the most important thing is, we get those dates, we can start locking in hotels. So, I'm on the phone, what's going to work for us, where we want to be. Is it my first choice? Is it our first choice? And then where do we need to pivot and do we need to do more research in a city to lock in, accommodations and, really then the airlines, and you get our whole manifest and everything lined up and kind of what that's going to look like. So really now that finally that's here, we're able to finally get those details rocking and rolling.
Yeah. How many people do you got to move around over there?
Yeah, so we'll travel about 100, 180 or so. So we'll have just a small little group there.
Yeah. Yeah. So is that just I'm going to ask the question: Is there a bus airplane sort of mix and match, or is everyone flown depending on where it is that you're going?
Yeah, no, great question. So we'll long story short, we'll have 6 buses. We'll get us over to the airport. We'll load. We have our own flight, charter plane, and then fly everybody in. I have 6 buses waiting on us when we land. One group, our EQ group, will split off, go set up the stadium for the game. Everyone else will get them to the hotel. Ideally, we get off the bus, up the elevators or stairs, and get everyone in under 8 minutes. That's kind of my goal. So get everyone there. Then we'll have some meetings. Keep rolling through our program. Meal, obviously, and then get some rest. Wake up, breakfast, and let's go hit it.
I can imagine the catering team to feed 180. Most of them either current or former athletes. I think for a fair few of them, it's going to be pretty substantial getting that sort of kitchen together.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with it. So, and that's kind of a lot of things we're going through now is kind of what our menus look like and what, how hotels can prepare for us.
Yeah. Now you got to go all the way across to the East Coast coming up.
Yeah.
What do we, any major hiccups that happen on those sorts of adventures? Any downsides? Anything that you're sort of aware of that could be a sticking point?
No, this year not as much. We had a couple last year, but we're pretty straightforward this year. We're going to be in and out. We got 5 of them if you include New Orleans. New Orleans is 2 time zones, but we got great things lined up. So nothing really crazy out of the ordinary. Pretty seamless as of right now.
And you're a Tar Heel yourself. There was a pretty significant draft choice for one of the North Carolina fellows, Drake May, drafted to the Pats. What do you think? Can he help turn the fortunes around over there? I know you're probably pretty biased about that situation, but what do you think? The Pats have got a bit of a chance this year?
No, I mean, look, best of luck to them. Good for him. He did a lot in college to get him to that point. So best of luck to him. And yeah, we'll see what comes of it. So.
All right. And the culture. So kicks down. I mean, it's just sort of talking about the team generally, sort of speaking off the travel side. Cultural changes from the top down, because it's very important for me in running my business here as well. It's just trying to make sure that you maintain that sort of culture that comes through. How strongly emphasized is it over at the Raiders organization?
Yeah, no, we got a great foundation, and that's starting back towards the end of last season. We're going to keep building on that. Coach AP, he's done great things here. There's a lot of excitement in the building, so we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Heath, if you've got any questions, then go ahead with it. Otherwise, go.
Just a quick one. Here in Australia, with the AFL and NRL, we've got a lot of teams that are sort of congregated in the same cities. Like in the AFL, I think in Victoria there's 10 teams, etc. So they don't travel much. But is for you guys, and obviously for NBA and all that, you guys travel a lot. Is there anything you guys do specifically to help with that travel? Because it does take its toll on obviously the players and everyone else. Is there anything special you guys to help with that?
Yeah, no. So that's a great question, but really that's where our strength department, our nutrition department, our training, how they handle things in and out, and then how we do the scheduling, that side of things with coach has a great feel on where the team's at, and so we have ways we can just control that or can help guys, and we focus a lot on recovery too. So what they can do to get them ready for the next week.
And do you generally travel the day before you play, or is it normally a couple of days? How does that work?
It's always been a mix. But being on the West Coast, we do a lot of 2-day trips. I think we might aim to maybe cut that down. We've got a lot of we got a lot of great amenities here in house that can really help prepare us the best. And so that might be a driving factor in only going one night. But the 2 time zone thing, it's always been a consideration. It's really up to the head coach and GM and how they see fit things and what's going to be best for the organization, going into that year.
Fantastic. Excellent.
I saw some footage. It was one of the draftees out of the Longhorns entering the change rooms of whichever NFL team he'd been drafted to, and there was a slight look of disappointment as he's realized that the college change rooms and the NFL change rooms are a little bit different. I'm sure that Allegiant Stadium is it being quite new and very special. What are some of the fancy features that you've got over there at those digs?
Oh man, where to start?
Sell it to a Longhorn.
Yeah. Let's see. Our how it's set up and where it's located. It's great for fans and they can get in. There's a lot of things there for them to do. We got we can roll our field out. You got a turf field underneath that. It provides a lot of different scenarios for different groups that want to do things. Allows us to grow grass out in the open. Great technology there, obviously, and great security. So it's a state of the art stadium, and definitely can't go wrong being a part of it or wanting to be a part of it, and getting to enjoy it. Every Sunday at home it's a lot of fun.
All right, I got one more. I got one more question for you. You don't have to answer.
I've got one too. I got one more.
He's got one. I've got to ask you, Derek. Is Max Crosby like off the field the same way that he is on the field? Because he's absolutely
awesome, the best. He's on and off the field. Yeah, everywhere. Yep, he's awesome.
It's a hell of a story. If you see him, I don't know if you see him, you can just give him the best over here, and his story has been incredible. And we follow him greatly, and he's just. You just can't stop him when he gets that look in his eye. He's absolutely unstoppable. He's a machine. I'm going to love to watch him this season. Heath, you got a question, and then we got to let a man get back to his work.
Just a quick one. So the Raiders moved over from Oakland about 4 or 5 years ago to Las Vegas, and Las Vegas traditionally isn't a sporting capital. They really don't have many professional teams over there. But you guys moved across, the NBA are looking at possibly setting up a team there as well. How have you found the reception from the people of Las Vegas? Has it been hard to get them on board, or have you found them quite receptive?
No, they've been very receptive. We're enjoying it, going into our 5th year here. We really feel like a hometown team, and the community's really embraced us. So we're enjoying it. We're going to keep growing it. We're going to keep growing our product, keep giving them good things to cheer for, and so they can, enjoy Sundays here with us.
Excellent. Fantastic.
Right. Yep.
Thanks very much. We're going to let you get back to your life over there. Derek Haithcock, manager of team travel and logistics, with an amazing story. We will be Raiders fans this year. I'm just gonna have to get myself Derek. I think Carr is going to be the quarterback this year. Last time I checked, was there a change on that one? No.
Yep. That one's a couple years ago, but yeah, we'll be good. All good.
Yeah. No, we'll
get you some gear. We'll get you a roster and some gear. We'll get you lined up.
Yeah, I think a roster probably would help on that one. You can see sort of a little bit behind the times of that one. Anyway, thanks very much, Derek. Have yourself a good evening, mate, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yep, great seeing you guys. Really appreciate it. Y'all take care.
Thanks, mate. Look after yourself.
See you.
Derek Haithcock there from the Las Vegas Raiders, joining us from Vegas. And thank you very much for him for giving up his time. Heath, now we can start talking let's talk some shot. Isn't that fascinating? Just talking to someone, just shifting 180 people around.
I know. That blew me away. 180 people.
Yeah, we just get them on a bus. A couple buses.
Every second week.
Buses.
Yeah, moving them around. Here in I'm an AFL guy, and you got 23 players that are playing, and you take across a couple of emergencies as well, and then maybe have 20 staff or so. So maybe you're moving around 50 people.
It would be barely that. I mean, I've got 6. I've got a few people in the office. You try and get those people down to the pub at 12:30.
Oh God!
For a Friday lunch, it's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, and once they're down there, you can't get them to leave.
No, I got pretty strong rules about that sort of thing. Well, this is a glass from the pub. I don't know who brought this in, which it wasn't me, but someone's just walked out of the bar with this and just brought it into the office one day. It's a great. That's part of the old culture, I think, of broking. Definitely not the way that things are done now in the future. Yeah. It's fantastic. It is funny, and actually talking about NRL too. I mean, you talk to. So I mean, Robbie Farah is tied up with. He's one of our ambassadors of Barclay Pierce Capital, and you talk to him. It's like, yeah, what did they have to go to Tamworth a couple of weeks ago to have a game out there? It's pretty much just get on the bus and go. It's not 180 people. It's absolutely extraordinary.
It's phenomenal. Yeah.
All right.
You think you got 32 teams doing that every weekend or every second weekend? It's phenomenal.
It's a backbone of the largest economy in the world. Speaking of the largest economy in the world, Segway.
Beautiful.
You go for me. You want to show me some charts there, pal?
Yeah. You get the screens up and going. I'll run through them. So yeah, beautiful. What do we got up there?
Oh, that's a red candle there, brother. What are we going to do about that?
Yep. Well, not much. I mean, we're bloody pretty close to all-time highs. We broke new all-time highs last week. We're around that mark still now, about 40, 50 points off on the SPX. Came off a little bit last night. PMIs, especially the service PMI in the US, was a little bit stronger than expected. Came in around the 54 mark. 52 was expected, I think. So that services side of things, which is really becoming sticky within inflation, is the concern. We saw yields up. Had about a bit of hawkish speak from the Fed this week, and we got Waller, I think tonight, speaking somewhere. So he's
hawkish?
Generally
was it?
Yeah. It hasn't come through yet, Waller. He'll be speaking tonight, but the other couple that spoke this week were fairly hawkish. It was more along the lines of we'll keep rates higher for as long as we need. Cuts may be pushed out, yada yada. So that was all that sort of talk we've been hearing for the last few weeks. It was just reiterated, and I think the market was like, coming into the end of the week, and not much macro data to rely upon this week. So yeah, there was a little bit of a sell-off.
Not like last week was absolute murder. This week has been good.
And so we've seen here, we've got the yields that came down to about, this is the 10 years, down to about 4.35%. They've bounced back up close to about that 4.5% mark.
That's the 10-year US 10-year yield. I just got to make sure that we talk what you're actually talking about. Yeah.
Of course, not everyone sees the screen. And this is the US dollar, the Dixie, that's seen a bit of a bounce there as well. But the general trend for these things they're still creeping down, but nothing obviously is linear, and we'll have those bumps along the way. I'm still of the opinion.
I said draw a line. Yep. Remember last week I said put that line along underneath.
Oh, I never did
dollar
I?
Was dollar was a buy. I told you last week. Don't make me tell you again. Look at that.
There we go.
I said that dollar was a buy there on that one, and we got that pretty accurate.
Yep.
Now you would think I think that a lot of commodities. I mean, we've had a commodities mega rally. It's been obscene. Belligerent is how it's gone. I think that the dollar rally there is probably the part of the reason why we've just seen a little bit of relaxation over the last couple of days, especially copper. And also China. Do you want to walk us through? Oh, my goodness. That's copper? Yep. That's copper futures. I didn't realize the candle. I didn't realize the candle was that big. Is that 5%?
Well, it came off 5% the other day. I think I don't think there's anything really to worry about there. I was searching for some news that may have caused it. Maybe a little bit of weaker Chinese data, but the bounce in the US dollar, plus the fact that it's run 40% this year, I think a little bit was taken off the table. I can see it coming down to that 450 to 460 a pound mark. It's around 480 at the moment. So a little bit more downside, but the narrative is still there. And I saw your interview on Ausbiz yesterday and the Odd Lots podcast, and they summed it up really well. It's just a supply crunch. No new supply coming online. We've got to greenify.
Can I read that? Can I read? I'm going to read what that actually was. So this is the quote. So Jeff Curry, who used to be head of commodity strategy at Goldman Sachs, currently at the Carlyle Group, slightly different strategy with what they're doing at the Carlyle Group. So they're more in investing, not just picking the strategy and picking the directions, but they actually invest in the transition from brown to green. Sort of very similar to what we do as well. So, and I think a lot of other houses and what they're doing, and they tilt is on that. So I'm just going to straight from the quote. It was on the Odd Lots podcast about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, potentially, which is the Bloomberg one with and help me, Joe Weisenthal. Wow. Now I'll give you the quote. I'll give you the quote from Jeff here. It was first off, you got to understand what a TC charge is. So you got copper concentrate, and so you have the charge and concentrate. The only way to describe it, and I'm not going to go into it too deep, because you get yourself tied in knots. But when there is a tightness of supply, then you'll see those TC charges go down. Correct?
Yep,
yes.
Correct.
So that's when you know that there is a tightness of supply. So there's a way of reading these things. This is sort of, it's not, I mean, this isn't the most advanced thing, but this is one of where anyone is just like, oh, I don't understand. How did you know that copper was going to go up? It's because they see the TC charges. So this is it. So this is from Jeff Curry. It actually was in South Korea, where there was not enough concentrate to go around to be able to smelt into something that was more useful. And so it's called the TC charges, the concentrate charges. And right now, all they're negative, which is telling you the shortage is at the mine in the concentrate, not at the in-use consumer yet. It's going to work its way down there. I go on with the quote. And so the fact that you have 0 or negative TC charges right now is an indication that you have shortages at the mine, which says eventually this is going to work further downstream, which is why we look out further, particularly towards the end of the year. Expect those shortages to work further downstream, more towards the consumer and away from the mine. So we haven't seen this. We haven't seen the end of it. We've barely seen the start of it when it comes to copper.
No.
Go on.
And that could be the oh shit moment, really, where maybe an EV maker or a battery maker says, look, our production is constrained because we can't get a hold of enough copper. And maybe that's closer to the end user that, like you were speaking about there, they can't get enough copper. Or maybe it's because we all know how heavily a lot of these EV makers and battery makers, etc., invested in lithium mines, etc., to secure supply. Maybe they start doing the same with copper and start going out to these copper mines and say, "Hey, we want to secure some offtake here," and that would probably be really bullish for the price. But yeah, I would expect some more pullback in the price, just because it's just run so hard so quick, and we had that. You had that smelting charges come right off and negative in China. When the groups came together and decided to cut production because they couldn't get hold of concentrate, and then South Korea followed quickly after.
Huge
as well. Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see, because there is a lot of smelting capacity coming online this year in the second half of the year. If that capacity is wound back a little bit because they can't get concentrate as well, and Indonesia is one to follow there as well.
Interesting. Okay. Well, look, that's copper, and I think it's got more to go. I'm a big buyer of copper on dips. I mean, I just want to wait and see where it is right now, because I mean, that was a hell of a rally.
You're doing that via the ETF on the LSE, the copper ETF.
COPA is the ETF that's in the LSE, and I think that you can get that in pounds, or it's not in US. I don't think it's in US dollars. It's in pounds. That's why I liked it. And you've got Wire that's here is the ETF.
Yeah, that's one of the
producers. For the other one that was said not only by Jeff Curry on that podcast that I was just mentioning, but also on various other channels through various other commentators and economists, talking about that the big reason why BHP has made this bid for Anglo is that it is far easier for them to spend their own scrip and a whole lot of cash to get an existing company that digs copper out of the ground than it is for them to go and dig new holes and go through that way. There will be more M&A. It won't help the copper price. No. It won't help the copper situation. There will just be companies saying, we can't dig it out of the ground. We have to keep this. We're going to keep feeding the beast with this growth, earnings growth, and this constant stuff that people have to do. There will be more M&A. Buy, own, hold copper stocks. I cannot stress that enough. General advice. Only please speak to a financial professional.
Like I said, I'm doing that via Wire as the broad-based, copper miners ETF here in Australia. BHP, obviously, good prices at the moment, I think, for talk about exposure, especially
ALM. I still like ALM.
Your little,
I'm a
guy.
Long and wrong. ALM is just low grade copper. It's a large holding. I'm going to say colossal holding. I'll be corrected. Don't ask me how much is there, but it's
a bulk tonnage setup, so low grade bulk tonnage, really close to the surface, really close to, really similar to one of my favorites, Havilah, who have about 1 million tons of copper equivalent in the ground. Again, bulk, very low grade, close to the surface, actually at surface. Havilah. But I also like AIC Mines. A1M is the code there. They've just raised some money, so have come off a little bit. So there's a good chance there. The other one is Develop Group, DVP. You get some lithium and mining services company with that one as well. But they've got the Woodlawn copper project, which looks quite attractive there. I reckon they'll spin that out, or it will get bought off of them eventually to realize a bit more value. So they're probably the two I like outside of Wire and BHP.
Okay. All right. We'll roll on. We've got running out of time. But what else you got for us there, mate? Hit us. Make it good.
Oh, mate,
chart to
there's
change the world.
not much else to talk about. Like we said, we've seen iron ore rally a little bit over the last week on the back of the Chinese property stimulus package. They're going to buy up empty houses, etc., and use them for affordable housing. Gold has come off again. Again, I think that's more on the back of US dollar. And again, a massive rally there in gold. What has gas done? Gas has spiked as well. Gas is an interesting one because you've got the US last year who increased their production of gas, of oil by 900,000 barrels a day. Now that was expected to be only 500,000, so they've pumped it up even more. But with US gas, US oil, you also get a lot of gas condensates, and that's why we saw the gas price plummet. Full quite some considerable. It was about $3.40 there 6 months ago. Went down to about $1.60, which I think is a record low. So it has bounced a bit now, back up to $2.60. The Widowmaker, but from what I'm hearing is maybe this was the bottom for gas in the US. You're going to start to see oil production in the US come off, which means gas production, etc., as the byproduct starts coming off. And they start eating through their inventories and supplies. So it's something to maybe watch over there.
All right. Do you want to talk to old Jimmy Two Thumbs on that chart? This guy, I reckon that's a sell. If I was just going to put my technical analysis hat on, I'm a shorter of that.
It's called the Widowmaker for a reason.
Oh, mate, I'm not using my own money, that's for sure. No, it's Oh, mate, yeah, you blow yourself up. I would say if I had to make a guess of which way it's going to go down, write it down. We'll put this on next week. I'm a seller at that price, whatever that number is. It's there. Down to where's that gap from
down here, down to about $1.80.
No, the last gap. Yeah,
this one.
You had it.
Down to
about there.
216.
It'll go above where is it above that? Above that gap. So pre-gap, just pre-drop there. No, down. Hold. There, that one. Other one.
Up. 216.
No, up. Before the drop. No, you're killing me, Smalls. There.
I know.
There. That's it. There. That's what.
There? Oh, that's where it is now. That's 264.
I will kill you. I need you to put it down. I can't point to it. Just scroll your mouse down. Move your mouse down. Stop. Stop moving. When I say stop, you just now move it up. Stop.
This is fantastic radio.
It's brilliant radio. Okay, I'm glad that people are listening. That's where it is. If I get you to operate this trade, we've already lost money.
I'm not placing this trade.
I'll sausage fingers over here, just jamming around. Anyway, good on you, mate. Okay, what else you got? Okay, that's where I am. I'm short today.
That's it. I'm done. I'm calling. It was a quiet week, markets wise. No macro, little else happening outside of commodities. So, I think I'm done.
I think I'm done as well, mate. Do you want to make people some real money?
Oh
man, I can't wait for the NFL season to start back again. Although we've got the basketball on now.
I know.
I saw that as usual. The Pacers are as usual, based on their long history in conference finals. Gee, they chucked it away. They chucked it away, but the Celtics just dropped some bombs out there. It was absolutely just a nightmare.
But I mean, you got their best player for the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton. He's very young. He's only 20, I think 24 or something.
23
along those lines.
23, playing in his first year, and just
he's leading a very young team. They're going to make mistakes. They'd be very happy getting to the conference finals. They weren't expected to get out the first round, so they've made it to the conference finals. So, but yeah, I think Mavs v Boston will be the final series, and I think Mavs end up taking it out with Luka Doncic getting his first ring. He's just a sensational player.
He's earned it this
year. One of the best in
true.
the world.
He's earned it this year as well. And my Edmonton Oilers are also traveling along, doing okay. I think their game one of their conference finals is today, I think, as well. So they managed to squeak through against the Canucks, and they're on. I think Florida Panthers will go through to be on the other side. So hopefully we'll see an Oilers versus Panthers NHL for the Stanley Cup, and I can't wait to see that as well. Now, do you want to make some? What else you got?
Oh, mate, my betting the last couple of weeks
You
has
just
been
stay away from it?
atrocious. It has been just
All right.
stay as far away from it as you can. But look, I'm going to go with. I'm going to go a little bit safer here. I tried to bet on Port Adelaide being. I think it was Port Adelaide beating the line last week. I can't remember, but I think Port Adelaide playing North Melbourne. The line's 44.5. I think
44.5.
Yeah, I think they cover that easily. They win by 10 plus goals. North Melbourne are they're atrocious.
You have taken the line for granted so many times this year, my friend. Are you sure that you want to go and do that again?
Yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment.
Go back. Just keep touching the barbed wire fence, mate. Let me know how that
so
works.
$1.90, 44.5, Port Adelaide at the line versus North Melbourne tomorrow afternoon. Get on it.
All right, put that into the Parramatta Eels away to the South Sydney Rabbitohs. They sacked their coach. I knew that was going to come after they got absolutely demolished at Magic Round last weekend. The Parramatta Eels, $1.74 are the favourites against the Bunnies. I think that myself, if I got Robbie Farah to strap the boots back on and I put myself on and I found just 11 guys in the street, I'd probably have a good run against the South Sydney Rabbitohs this week.
Are they that bad, are they?
They're not amazing, mate.
No.
Someone did a great voiceover of Craig Bellamy just going, Cam Munster's done his groin. Cam Munster's like, yeah, I know it's tough. The only thing worse than the Parramatta Eels is the Parramatta Eels without Mitch Moses or the Bunnies. Which is saying something. So I've got the Parramatta Eels on that one, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've been loving my football recently, but I can't wait for the NFL season to start back up again. And thank you very much to Derek Haithcock and the Las Vegas Raiders organization. I've got to look at this roster again. I was up last night looking at draft picks, selections, strategies, plays, everything they were doing. It's completely forgotten who the quarterback was. So that shows the professionalism.
Their draft night went really haywire for them. They were going to draft a decent quarterback, but then 6 quarterbacks went before their pick 13.
Yeah, it was a big QB, and they had 13. They had 13.
And they had to scramble.
Right? So they got a couple of guys. Yeah. Oh, sure. Look, it'll be great to watch. It'll be great to watch. It's a good organization and a hell of a town. I can't wait to get back there.
They'll trade for someone. Yeah. So,
I don't know.
But anyway,
Either way, I'm looking forward. I've got to get my Raiders jersey sorted out. I don't wear black much, so I've got to find something that's in grey potentially. So it's going to be tough. I've got to hang up the Drew Brees jersey, the old number 8, for a year, and just see if we go with fresh colours on my face.
Beautiful,
which would be all right. Okay, we are all out of time now. Thank you very much for joining us on the Theory of Thing Investment Podcast. What do you got for us, Heath? Sign it off.
That's it. I'm done. A few, like I said, Waller tonight, and a few bigger macro releases next week. So it should be a little bit more interesting next week.
Anyway, it's a cracking day in Sydney today. Go and get yourself a beer in your hand. Help the economy. Actually, don't do that. Sorry, I don't know. What am I saying? There's no solution. Okay, inflation's not going down. I'm not going to end on that. Go Raiders. Go the other teams. Go the Tigers. That's all I've got for you now. Thanks very much, guys.
Have a good weekend, everyone. Bye.